This video will explore port cross-references within Altium Designer. Adding cross-references to the project allows us to easily follow the connective flow of nets between the schematic sheets in a project. The schematic editor supports automatically creating and updating cross-references. First, let's open all schematic sheets by right-clicking on Source Documents within the Projects panel and selecting Open All Schematic Documents. Next, let's access the project options by right-clicking on the project and selecting Project Options. The options in the PCB project window contain many tabs along the top. These will be covered in further detail in later modules. However, here is a quick summary of each. The Error Reporting tab within the Project Options dialog enables us to define the reporting levels for each of the possible electrical and drafting violations that can exist on source schematic documents when validating the project. The Connection Matrix tab delivers a matrix providing a mechanism to establish connectivity rules between component pins and net identifiers, such as ports and sheet entries. With the Class Generation tab, we can configure and control automatically generated classes and user-defined classes. The Comparator tab enables us to define which types of differences to find and which to ignore when comparing documents. The ECO Generation tab enables us to configure which modification types can be included when generating an engineering change order based on differences found by the comparator. Options. We will explore this tab in more detail momentarily. With the Multi-Channel tab, we can define the room naming scheme and component designator format for use with multi-channel designs. The Parameters tab enables us to manage parameters defined for the project, often referred to as project-level parameters. With the Device Sheets tab, we can specify the folders in which the device sheets can be found, along with their order. The cross-reference settings exist within the Options tab. Before we explore the cross-reference settings, let's quickly explore some of the other sections of the Options tab. Output Path is the default output path for the generation of output files from the current design project. ECO Log Path is the default output path for ECO log files. Schematic Template Location is used to specify a directory in which to source schematic template files for the project. Within the Output options, we can see there are 4 options. Open outputs after compile will enable us to open files that were generated after compiling the design project. Timestamp folder will enable us to create a timestamp folder for the generated output, such as a BOM report. The folder name will have a timestamp appended to the folder name and will be located in the output path specified above. Archive Project Document enables us to archive the project document. For example, when generating manufacturing outputs from a PCB design. Use Separate Folder for each output type enables us to create separate folders for each output type generated for the design project. This folder structure also will be presented in the Projects panel. Now, moving on to the general area, we can find the Automatic Cross-References selection. Check this box to enable automatic port, off-sheet connectors, and sheet entries cross-referencing information to all source schematic documents in the active project. Within the cross-reference section, there are several options to discuss. Sheet Style provides us options to choose one of the following sheet styles for the cross-referencing of ports on a schematic sheet or schematic sheets within a project. None. No sheet style will be added in the cross-reference string of all ports. Selecting Name provides the names of the sheets that the ports are linked to and are added in the cross-reference strings. Selecting Number will have the sheet numbers of the sheets that the ports are linked to added in the cross-reference strings. Location Style provides us options to choose one of the following location styles for the cross-referencing of ports on a schematic sheet or schematic sheets within a project. None. No location style is added in the cross-reference string of all ports. Zone refers to the reference zone numbering. Zones that are often included in schematic sheet borders are added in the cross-reference strings of all ports that are associated with the parent objects, such as the location of sheet symbols. Location XY. The locations of the ports are published in brackets in the cross-reference strings for all ports that are associated with the parent objects, such as the location of sheet symbols. When the Follow Cross-References Settings and Preferences option is enabled, the values of the sheet style and location style options will be inherited from the options in the Port Cross-References region of the Schematic General page of the Preferences dialog. Finally, moving on to Display Cross-References 4, we have a few more options. We can use the Ports drop-down to select the mode of displaying cross-references for ports. Disable. No cross-reference is added to ports. Only related sheet entry will display the cross-reference to the associated sheet entry on the parent schematic sheet. Only related ports displays cross-references to the associated ports. Sheet entry in ports displays cross-references to both sheet entries and ports. Off-sheet connectors enables us to display cross-references for off-sheet connector objects, and if desired, we can also enable cross-references for sheet entries. Once our cross-reference settings are set, click OK on the Options dialog. We can now see the cross-references within our schematic sheets. If desired, cross-references can be hidden again by unchecking the automatic cross-references within the Project Options dialog. This concludes our discussion on port cross-references within Altium Designer. Thanks for watching.